when I calculated last year's taxes, I did 90% of Amazon FBA, sending my products into Amazon's FBA program. I paid roughly around 46% as far as the fees and everything else. After everything was said and done, whether it was pay-per-click campaign or what have you, and I include all that, as far as the fees are involved. This year, since the beginning of the year, I turned it around and did merchant fulfilled and sending most of the products out merchant fulfilled, which is way less in fees. You're looking anywhere from about 25% to about 35% in fees themselves. And I've been on the average around 31% as far as fees are concerned. Even though you're sending everything out yourself and you're kind of doing everything yourself, there still are fees that are involved, the listing fees, what have you, whether it's pay-per-click fees, all that is included. And so what I did is I can show you now as far as what right now what I have up to date. I actually did a video probably about an hour ago showing my income for this week. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. So what I want to do is I want to be able to get into this video, show you guys, and then we'll be back right after this. Okay, in this video I want to talk about your sales with Amazon. Basically what we're trying to do is figure out exactly what kind of numbers you should be receiving when you do merchant fulfilled products. So it is cheaper to sell merchant fulfilled than it is going through Amazon's FBA program. Roughly, if you are going to go through Amazon's FBA program, with the fees and everything else, sending your products in, them packaging it, them doing your customer service for you, it's going to roughly be anywhere from 40 to 50% is what I'm seeing. And that is with you advertising costs, your pay-per-click, and everything else. Now, in this graph right here, this is my latest graph here. Actually, it's from June 3rd. It is still open. I'm still doing sales. And so in this one here, I have done roughly around $22,000 in sales in about 4 days. And so you can come into you can come into your back office, go into reports. When you go into reports, there is a statement view that you can go ahead and you can click on. You can click on statement view. It will bring this up right here. So just right now, if I was to get a check right now from Amazon, 18,104 would be the dollar figure that would go into my checking account. Right now, I've done so far about $22,000 in sales, and then these expenses come up every single day. So what happens is this will always change, and this is a kind of a breakdown on your expenses. You have refunds right here that they kind of give you, and then shipping charges. These shipping charges is when you create a label and you're going to send products out to your customer. You create that label. That's what these shipping charges are here. $729 so far. And then now for merchant fulfilled, I have Amazon fees for listing the product itself is roughly around $899. So when you go out and you send this product in, basically what's going to happen is you are going to have fees involved and everything else involved as far as your advertising costs. And so Merchant fulfilled is way cheaper than you are going to send products into Amazon's FBA. You know, basically you are paying for their service. So if you had a choice between merchant fulfilled and fulfilled by Amazon, you're looking at anywhere from FBA fees, roughly anywhere from about 40% to about 50% when it's all said and done. Sometimes it's a little cheaper than that, but when you do merchant fulfilled, you're looking more in the 26% to about 32% range when you are figuring out all your costs and everything else. So I just wanted to do this short video, kind of show you the graph here of how this looks. These are under your reports, and we will talk about this when this video is over. We'll go ahead and have Q&A and talk about this. All right, guys? All right, just a real quick preview on this, and we'll see you live. All right, so that was just a rough graph of basically what is being made now. I still have another 10 days left for this pay period. So hopefully we can hit 30,000, 35,000 by the time that everything's said and done next Wednesday. So with that, the reason why I went merchant fulfilled is because of selling a lot of products right now, and this is going to be a very, very busy month for Amazon. Most of my sales, and I've talked about this in other videos too, where December and the fourth quarter is not the busiest time for Amazon. The busiest time for Amazon is June, July, and August. That's where it really, really takes off for a lot of people. They turn around and they sell a lot of products. And so if you are new, you're just starting out, and you had to make a decision, you had to try to figure out what you wanted to do. Well, I can simply say that if you were staying home and you were interested in selling on Amazon and you wanted a extra income, the best way to do it is merchant fulfilled, because you're going to have less fees come out and more money comes into your pocket, which everybody loves when more money comes directly into their pocket, as opposed to Amazon getting the whole piece of the pie. So with that, you want to try to get familiar with that, start selling products, and making sure that you get most of the profits coming back to you, because down the road, eventually, you're going to be purchasing products for your business itself, but keep this in mind. It's all a tax write-off, and you write a lot of this stuff off anyway. So Amazon definitely is going to get paid, and the best way for you to sit there and say, okay, I want to try to make as much money as I possibly can, then merchant fulfilled is the way to go. But there are some people that have full-time jobs out there, want to do this as a part-time hobby or what have you, or an extra income. So they go out and they will send their products into Amazon's FBA program, and Amazon definitely is going to charge you for that. They're going to charge you for creating the listing, setting up the listing. They're gonna charge you for sending products into their warehouse, keeping it in their warehouse. They're gonna charge you for sending it out to the customers. Any customer service, basically, you get charged for. Those all come into the Amazon fees, and then on top of that, you have your pay-per-click campaigns, which could really cost a lot of people if they don't know what they're doing. And so you always want to make sure that you go out there and know exactly what you're spending, especially on your pay-per-click campaign, because that could really, really cost and put you upside down if you don't know what you're doing itself. So, hello there, Zoe Rizzi. Zoe Rizzi says, where have you been? I have kind of been extremely busy with my Amazon business, and at the same time, with everything going on here in LA and stuff, we're trying to protect businesses from people breaking windows and everything else like that. Been busy with that also. So, but with that being said, Illinois Picker, hello. Loli, hello. Um, Illinois says, make no mistake, Amazon is getting paid for FBA. I know they have expenses, but they are banking. Yes. I mean, they are making lots and lots of money, and there's no doubt about that. There was a fire within an Amazon warehouse here in Redlands, and destroyed the whole warehouse, their distribution center, and that right there put a lot of people that had sent products in to Amazon. Some of those products went into that warehouse and totally destroyed. So that's a loss for people, and that's a gamble that you have to kind of, you're sending it to a warehouse and you're hoping that there's not a fire or anything else like that. And it applies to even your manufacturers. And this is why we talk about, looking for one manufacturer, two manufacturers, three manufacturers for one particular product. And that way, in case there is a fire or something happens, you can go somewhere else. But in this case, where it goes into Amazon's warehouse, with the Nexus program, people who don't know what that is the Nexus program itself. If you live, say for example, I live in California, and I send products into Amazon, Amazon will most likely send my products out of state. Once it gets out of state, it kind of gets dispersed amongst other warehouses, and not all your products stay in one warehouse. So if you have 200 units, 50 units may go to this warehouse in New York, 50 units may go in Seattle, 50 may go in Los Angeles, and 50 may go in Florida. So they kind of spread it out as soon as they get their product, and so that's called the Nexus program, where they kind of just spread all that out, and all your inventory is not at one place, and it saves them on taxes and everything else. Now, if you go out and you have uh, a good year, these reports are actually really good to kind of look at. I do my reports every 3 months, and I give them to my tax person, and he already knows what to look for as far as expenses and everything else. There are um, other platforms out there that you can use for your reports, but Amazon does have a great report system where you can just download it, and it tells you all your expenses and what you're spending money on and so forth, if you really want to get into it. But that's in your back office. Take a look at it. That's something that is worth looking at, and you will eventually see the difference in fees when it comes to your product in Amazon's FBA warehouse and you doing merchant fulfilled. Now, for those of you that are new, put it in the comment down below, and let me know if you are doing merchant fulfilled now, or if you're sending your products into Amazon's FBA program. Well, just a little graph right here will make a huge difference in your decision whether you are going to be spending 45% to 50% in fees, or 25 to 30% in fees, doing it the merchant fulfilled way as opposed to the Amazon's FBA program. Everybody makes the Amazon FBA program sound really good, but you are paying for that program. I mean, they do all the work, and they are the ones getting paid. Now, it's not something that you can sit there and say, well, I want to be able to do my full-time job, and I can't do merchant fulfilled. So these are decisions that you have to make. Or if you are out of the country and you are selling here in the U.S., obviously you cannot do merchant fulfilled products. unless your address was here in the States. But other than that, you were kind of forced to go out there and do Amazon's FBA program, send your products in and sell that way. But if you had a choice, and me, I have a I do both, but I lean a lot more, especially this year. I'm making quite a bit more this year than I did last year, and every single year I make more money and more money, and so this year I really turned things around, concentrated on merchant fulfilled products, and send these products out. Just this weekend alone, I did roughly around 400 orders just this weekend from Friday on to Sunday night. I did about 400 orders that I had to send out. So I was busy all weekend filling orders and making sure that those orders went to the post office and got that taken care of. And as a matter of fact, the more orders just keep coming in, keep coming in. Now, here's the beauty about it. All these are organic sales. And so these I'm not really pushing pay-per-click right now. And like I said, June is the busiest time for Amazon. There's a lot of people staying home right now. There's a lot of people out there, doing a lot of stuff at home projects and everything else like that, where sales have just really been booming and really taking off. And so I expect for the holidays, especially the 4th of July weekend, which is one of the busiest weekends for Amazon, where people go out and they order products. So just make sure that you are prepared for it. Make sure that you can go out there and make these sales and really turn it up in the next 2 to 3 weeks, because business really should be good as far as taking off. I'm going to answer some of your questions here, guys. With that being said, let's go ahead and find out what we have here. OLA, welcome aboard. What about the cost of reordering your product? I don't remember hearing about that cost. How does that factor in? Well, for like myself, I have U.S. suppliers. So I will roughly spend anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 in product costs. And it's a little bit more expensive here in the U.S. as opposed to overseas. Overseas, I will roughly spend around $6,000 to $7,000. That's for shipping and everything else. But I'm getting more for my buck because it's a lot cheaper. I'm paying pennies as opposed to dollars when it comes from overseas as opposed to here in the U.S. Look, manufacturers here already know what that product does and what it sells on Amazon. So they're not going to give you pennies on the dollar. They're going to make their money. I mean, it's not cheap labor over here. So obviously you are going to be spending money. But that's all tax write-off. You can write all that stuff off. So those are part of your expenses. I don't really take that into consideration. When I buy the product, I buy the product saying I need the product because people are purchasing the product itself. I don't care if the product is something where I have to spend a little bit more on quality. And that's what Amazon is really looking at right now. There are tons of people that are getting complaints that they have cheap product selling on Amazon. And it was all over the news. They were talking about that today on CNBC. And they were talking about how these vendors are coming in and they're selling cheap products and there's a lot of returns and so forth. And this is why Amazon is so successful, is because they have a 1 month money back guarantee, no questions asked. You don't like the product, you just return it, and it hurts the sellers, and it hurts the sellers that are selling cheap products. This is why I look for good quality products every single time. If I feel that it's cheap, I will not sell it. I just don't want the returns. As you can see on the video, we were looking at the returns, and I think I had $45 worth of returns throughout the whole month, and which is not bad at all. people are going to return products. I mean, that's a given. And if it comes back and you can turn around and resell it, why not? If there's nothing wrong with it, definitely go out and try to resell the product and make your money back that way. I do it all the time, and it's usually they don't open the package. They'll look at it, say, well, I changed my mind, you know, wrong size, wrong color, or whatever it may be. So or no longer needed. There's just a bunch of ways that they can go out and return the product, and as long as you get that product back, you can go out and just give them their refund. And I always go out and give them a refund and so forth. Okay, so let's answer some of these questions. What's up there, Sheriff? Sheriff 1069 says hello, Mr. Henry. Hello. Illinois Picker says, saw that on the news. Not a regular distribution center, but a larger item. Still drives up our costs. Yeah, that was the fire that was here in Redlands. That happened, I believe, Saturday morning. And it was huge, and it destroyed everything. Drove right by it, and it was still on fire 5 hours, 6 hours later. Even after they took it out, it was smoldering pretty bad. If you can imagine all the robots and everything else, the machinery and everything else in there that was lost, it's going to drive up costs eventually. So, Craig says, if I have a Shopify website account, can I ship with Amazon to the buyer? No, you cannot. Shopify is a totally different platform. You can try to link your Shopify account as far as your products, but Amazon knows where this is being sold from. And this is one of the biggest issues and the biggest problems, is that people try to use a different platform, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's, any other platform. They will go ahead and run an ad and go and try to get people to click on that ad, and then they have a link where that link goes directly to their Amazon page. Now, they can buy it that way. That's not a problem. It still goes into the Amazon platform. But Amazon knows where that product is being sold from. I mean, all the cookies will point it to the Shopify account. And, they don't give you much love when it's on somebody else's platform. I've always talked about this and always brought this up to my members and everything else, even on YouTube here, where, I tell people, people go to Facebook to socialize, people go to YouTube to find out information, people go to Amazon to purchase products. Simple as that. So if I was to sell and advertise strictly Amazon, that's it. I don't waste my time on these other platforms, because it's just a hopefully I will get a sale thing. And with Amazon, I know I'm going to get a sale. This is why I have 400 units, 400 different orders this weekend alone. And that's through all organic sales and no advertising whatsoever. So after that, it tends to you start making more money, especially if you're not advertising your products, because once it becomes organic and organic sales and it kind of sells on its own, then eventually your Amazon fees and everything else will be reduced even more. All right. Andy says, hey, welcome, Andy. Wonder if you ever did FBA, and so why you switched. Also, do you have a mentor? Andy, obviously you're new to my channel. I have been doing Amazon for 13 years. I teach people how to make money selling on Amazon. I do 90% of my sales came from Amazon's FBA program. It wasn't till this year where I was extremely busy. I did not have time to send it stuff into Amazon, because as soon as I posted it, as soon as I created that listing, it sold. And so now I do 90% merchant fulfilled. There's nothing wrong with Amazon's FBA program. There are benefits to that I really haven't discussed in this video. But and then there's benefits to merchant fulfilled. There's benefits to Amazon's FBA program because they put that in front of their Prime members, and their Prime members also see your listing. But when you're doing merchant fulfilled and you do not have the Prime badge, you're not being seen in front of the Prime members. So sales have to work a little bit harder. But if you are doing merchant fulfilled and you have that Prime badge, people tend to think that it's coming from Amazon's FBA, but in reality, you are the one sending it out to the customer, and the customer is getting it directly from you. So you have to deal with all the returns and everything else. So there's a benefit to sending it in Amazon's FBA, but then also you are going to be paying more in fees as opposed to doing merchant fulfilled. You're going to have to obviously buy envelopes, labels, printers, and that's like a one-time thing, especially like with the printer, unless it breaks down or something. Other than that, it becomes routine, and it's just something that you get used to. And when you wake up in the morning and you have 50 to 80 orders, you're pretty excited about getting up in the morning and doing some work. And people always ask, is it hard work? No, it's not when you're making money. When you've made $1,000 before you've woken up, it's a good feeling. And so, as you can see, $22,000 in sales in about 4.5 days, which is not bad at all. So my net was about $18,000, and that's what I'm going to be taking home. That's going to be coming in my bank. But as a matter of fact, it keeps going up every single day. So I still have 9 days left in this pay period. So whatever sales that I do between now and these 9 days, I'm roughly going to do about close to $25,000 to $30,000 net, taking that home and going into my account. There are other sellers out there that are doing extremely well right now. I mean, I do extremely well after 13 years. It's just constantly making money, and this is why I'm so passionate about this business, is because I always tell people this: Amazon is my beneficiary. And if you can relate to that, if you can relate to my Amazon business is my beneficiary. In other words, that money is coming in. That's just guaranteed money for me if I continue on with my sales. And this is one of the businesses, Amazon stock today is over $2,500 a share. It is expected to hit $3,000 a share. Now, there are more people getting into this business because there's a lot more people looking for money. They're trying to figure out a way to go out and make money. I've been doing this for 13 years. I won't stop. I will ride this train. I will continue on and until sales stop. But with that, it's just continuing on. So the best advice I can give you guys, especially if you're brand new, is to go ahead and get started with Amazon. But you have to make sure that you do everything right, everything correctly, because Amazon will not hesitate to kick you off of their platform if you disappoint their customers. And when I say their customers, it's exactly what it is. You are a contractor, you work for Amazon, they pay you, and if you do something wrong, they're really quick to take action. But if you do things right, they leave you alone. So, all right. James, let's go on to James. And James says, I sold an item to a person that lives in Canada, and I bought the shipping through Amazon, but was not able to print out the shipping label. Can you help me understand why? Because that is an international, and you probably don't have it set up for international. You might want to look at that, James. You can call Amazon or text or email Amazon and ask them why you're not able to print that label out. The Canadian Post Office and the United States Post Office are totally different, and you have to be set up for that through your back office. That's probably the reason why you're not able to complete that particular order. But if you have a problem, call them right away and ask them, just to make sure and verify that your account, your seller's account, is set up for international shipping. All right. Sheriff says, how can I protect my Amazon listing from others? Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, people are going to hijack your listing. It just happens. The best way to protect it is to do brand registry. And if you are a brand registered owner, and you have that product, and that product is brand registered, if somebody basically tries to sell the exact same thing or your particular item that has your name on it, you can file a complaint with Amazon and through the brand registry office, and they will get them removed right away. If you are not brand registered and you go out and you try to sell products, or you're piggybacking off of somebody else's listing, you are fair game. It is and Amazon will tell you this: it's an open marketplace. And when they say open marketplace, is you literally can go to a listing, and if you look to the lower right hand side of that listing where you're going to check out, if you keep going below that, it's going to say have one to sell, and anybody else could click on that button, and if it's not brand registered, they can sell your product. And there's nothing that you can possibly do other than do a private label product, and that's what I suggest that you do. There's a lot of people out here doing retail arbitrage. There's a lot of people doing drop shipping. They're not protected. They're basically going out there and doing exactly what you said, whether they're hijacking somebody else's listing or creating their own listing, and they don't brand register the product, and then it's open marketplace when it comes to that. Good question, though. That's a great question. Illinois Picker says profit is calculated when you purchase inventory. Folks, you just need to be sure that they are using the Amazon Sellers app to make sure the product will make them money, or devise a new plan. That's a good point, Illinois Picker. He's been selling for quite a bit. He also says I have to use FBA more to get the Prime badge. They won't graduate me from seller fulfilled Prime trial. Just keep going out there, just trying to keep selling your products, Illinois, and hopefully that changes. Right now, there's a lot of things that are going on where they're kind of not making the changes as quickly as they should be. But it's just those are some of the things you just kind of have to stay on top of. Also, Illinois Picker says business mindset. We must think every day how we can improve our business and take steps necessary to achieve our goals. I'm like a Terminator and will never quit, ever. Speaking of Amazon and doing things right, newbies, please do not use the phone number or call your customers for any reason. That is a very good point. And what he is talking about is when you go out and you have an order, and that order you have to fulfill that order. Well, obviously it leaves a phone number for your customer. And what people are doing now is they are out there and they are calling their customers, and it becomes an issue because you have to put in their social security, not their sorry, their zip code, and you have to put in there's something else I think that you have. I couldn't remember what it is. I'm drawing a blank right now, but you have to verify their zip code and something else, and then it patches you through. And people are complaining about that. They're pissed off about that because they are getting calls at 10 o'clock at night, and somebody is portraying themselves like they're working for Amazon, and that basically is for the mail service. In case they need to drop a package off, they can use that phone number to call, and it's really not for the seller to be calling the customers and talking to them in any way, or saying, hey, can you leave me a nice review or something like that. I don't know. I don't know why you would call them, but everything is tracked, and you can get in trouble for that if you go out there and try to call somebody, and they see that. So Sheriff says, how much does it cost to register my brand? Well, it really doesn't cost you anything on Amazon when you are doing brand registry. You have to register with the United States Registry Service. That's where it costs you money. Whether you are brand registering your product or brand registering your name, whether you are doing a trademark, that's where it costs. But as far as the brand registry department for Amazon, you basically have to show that you are registered outside of Amazon in order to become a brand registry product. If I explain that well enough to you. So when it comes to brand registering, you can brand register for absolutely free on Amazon. It's just you have to prove that you have a trademark or a registered number, and you put that in, and then they give you the okay, they approve it or they don't approve it. It just goes into a different department. All right. James says, I am looking for a new item to sell. Do you have any suggestions? Yes, James. Go into the best sellers. Take a look at the best sellers. There are a lot of products on best sellers that sell these. This is the reason why they are best sellers. You look into different categories that are less competitive. A lot of people get into beauty. A lot of people get into home and garden, which everybody basically gets into to those categories. I try to teach you not to do that. If you can get into less categories like appliances or industrial, where there's fewer sellers, then you are going to have a better opportunity to sell your product and to make sure that you get your product sold by simply getting into a category that is less competitive. But there are a lot of best sellers out there. Don't just look at the main category. Look at some of the subcategories. Those are even better when it comes to selling products. And if you can find a product that is hard to find, a product that you can't find in the stores themselves, but only Amazon sells that. Those are home run hitters. Those are called the golden nuggets, and those are the ones that you want to look for. And it's very hard. You can use software programs like JUNGLESCOUT, ASINSPECTOR, a few other ones out there that have those software programs where you can go out there and look for products to try to sell there. So, good question. Illinois says, Henry, would you mind touching on the A to Z claim process with FBA? Yes, that's not a problem. The Amazon FBA claim process, somebody wants to file a claim. So what happens is a lot of times people will return their products back to Amazon's FBA program, well, they don't get credited for it. In other words, they didn't get a refund or what have you. And a lot of this comes even to merchant fulfilled, and mostly merchant fulfilled, where somebody will send a product back and it's your responsibility to go ahead and give them a refund. They have that option to file an A to Z claim. An A to Z claim basically says that, hey, the customer says, I sent the product out, they got it, here's the tracking number, I didn't get my money, I'm filing an A to Z claim. It is best that you can work that out. Once they file that A to Z claim, Amazon allows you to go out there and try to work it out with your customer. If you cannot work it out within a certain period of time, Amazon will go ahead and give them their money back, and they will most likely win the claim, unless it was, something that they filed and they're returning 6 months down the road, so it's out of that window. And they'll see that and they look at it, but sometimes they even still give them their money back. So that is what an A to Z claim is. They have that. A customer has that option to try to get their money one way or another. Here's a little tip on if somebody returns product, and this has happened to me, where they have said, I've returned 30 units to you because this is what I ordered, and you open up the package and there's only 4 in there. And like, well, where's the rest? You have the option to refund that person. And if you know it's a refund and you did not get all your product back, it is best that you refund that customer right away. So if that product cost you $35 to send out and they only return 4, give them a price difference of 5, or literally just give them a refund, not a full refund of $35. You give them a refund of $5 or $7 or whatever the difference is. And what's going to happen is Amazon will not step in. They will let you and the customer work that out. If they show that you gave them a refund, a partial refund, and you leave it in the notes saying customer did not return all my product, they cannot interfere. And so you want to do that before the customer files an A to Z claim. So you want to make sure you get that refund to them. Now, remember, you do not have to give a full refund. You can give a partial refund if they damaged your product in any way, or they sent you back a brick instead of whatever you sold them. You can give them $1 as a refund, and Amazon will not interfere because they show that you gave them a refund. And it is up to the customer at that point to try to fight for their refund, not the seller. All right, that's just a good tip there for you guys to really soak in. Zoe, I didn't. You know what? I'm sorry. I didn't even see that comment, or I probably didn't read it. But it says that is a common misconception that people think reselling on Amazon is not that much work. It's big time work and many hours involved. Illinois or Zoe, if you could redo that question, because I didn't see it, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. But if you could just retype the question in, Zoe, I'd like to see what you said. And thank you for answering that, Illinois. Craig K, do you pay that recommended rate for daily advertising? No, I don't. If you watch my videos, I have a 10-cent automatic campaign where I do 10-cent automatic campaign. I don't care if that product says suggested bid on there is 90 cents. I would do a 10-cent automatic campaign, make extra sales on that 10-cent automatic campaign. And I did a automatic campaign for 6 months, and it was a 10-cent automatic campaign, and I spent a total of $1,900 and made in sales $25,000 in sales with $1,900 that I spent on my 10-cent automatic campaign. You do not have to do the suggested bid on that. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. When you go out there and do automatic campaigns, if you don't know what you're doing, that is your best option to do an automatic campaign. If you go out and do a manual campaign, you are literally wasting your money. And that's where a lot of these fees are really going to come in and hurt you, because you're spending more on pay-per-click ads than you are not knowing what you are doing. So you want to make sure that you know exactly what you do. This is what I have on my Amazon A to Z course. I teach you how to do that. So take a look at it. If you're not a member, take a look at the courses that I do have at techdaddyvideos.com. And if we can help you with that, just come on in as a member, and we will help you and get you to make that type of money that I'm making. So, okay. Andy says, what did you do before you were in Amazon? Also, how much money did it take to start? Andy, that's a great question. I worked my ass off, excuse my French, but I was with a corporation for 25 years and I got nowhere. So I was always looking for money, a way to go out and do a business. Well, I went into a lot of multi-level marketing companies that failed, and because they're designed to fail. And so before I started with Amazon, if you read my story on my techdaddyvideos.com, on my About Me page, tells you exactly what I did. I actually sold products on eBay and started out with eBay. I did over 16,000 items selling on eBay. Then Amazon came in and I started with Amazon and started pretty much selling products on Amazon. I did 10 times more in sales selling on Amazon than I did eBay. I've been there ever since. And so this is going on my 13th year. And I really, I retired from my job basically and did this. And this to me is my part-time income. This is my part-time work. When I can make $20,000 to $30,000 a month, this is part-time for me. I literally can get up, do my orders, get them all taken care of, and have all my stuff done literally by 10 o'clock. By 10 o'clock in the morning, I can have that sent to the post office, all the orders that come in. I may get up at 7. It may take me 3 hours to go out there and fill some of these orders when I'm doing merchant fulfilled. But I've turned over well over $1,000 or $2,000 easily just by sending those products in. And that's my day's work. And I also teach people how to make money selling on Amazon. I right now I'm getting into Zoom meetings with my members and having private Zoom meetings. That is actually coming up this week too, guys. For those of you that are members, I'm going to be putting out another Zoom meeting this week for you guys, and we're going to be able to discuss quite a few things. But yes, I mean, this is what I do. Get on YouTube and talk for a whole hour. So, love it. Of course, Steve Everhart says, gotta go. Good night, everyone. Good night there, Steve. Thanks for chiming in. Steve is on the East Coast, so it's his bedtime there, and so awesome. Okay. Craig, Illinois Picker says, Craig, if you're talking about the recommended rate for pay-per-click, be careful. Your ACOS can skyrocket if you don't stay on top and optimize. Yes, you got to optimize your pay-per-click campaign. And what Illinois Pickers is talking about when he talks about the ACOS, that is your advertising cost of sales. And that is the difference between your sales and what you are spending on that particular campaign. Yes, Steve says private Zoom meeting is the best. Definitely is going to be private for the members and the members only. Yes, thank you on that. Um, let's see. James says Henry's A to Z course is well worth the money. I bought it and I use it. Thank you very much, James. I really appreciate that. Um, also, Zoe Rizzi says, finally started making sales on Amazon. I launched my second product 3 weeks and I'm selling 80 to 100 units every day. Wow. FBM, however, is driving me crazy. LOL. So much work, but money is great. Wait till you start doing merchant fulfilled. When you start doing merchant fulfilled, though, you are going to make even more money because your commissions and everything else is going to be that much more greater. All right. Great story. Appreciate that. Um, uh, Illinois Picker says, how many times in a month can we request payment between the 2 week cycle? You can only request it every 2 weeks, and it should get, like mine is on every other Wednesday. So if I will actually have money coming into my bank account on a Saturday, gets deposited on Wednesday. By Saturday, it's literally in my account, ready to roll, and me go out and enjoy the fruits of my labor, pretty much. So, but yes, it's twice or once in a 2 week cycle. Um, Usually is what it is. So twice a month. Uh, Zoe Rizzi says, Henry, you inspired me with so much when you flashed that 10K. Ah, haha, now I can finally flash as soon as Amazon pays me. Yes. Look, listen, I don't like flashing money, but it is nice to have $10,000 in my drawer and just laying around and just sitting there. And if I need it, I need it. If I don't, I don't. And believe me, I go out and I buy other inventory with that. I buy a lot of stuff with that. And that's what it's there for. So if you go out there and you are doing merchant fulfilled, you have that access, and even FBA, you have that access. It goes into your checking account and what have you. You cash it out. There you go, and it's there for you. Um, Illinois says, I have been able to crest 3 times in 2 week cycle and transferred over. Okay, well, maybe you know something I don't. I really don't like to go out there and just put in for money transfers if I don't have to. I will wait because it's just bigger checks. But I mean, if you can do it, great. Um, I kind of look at it this way, Illinois, is I will not try to communicate with Amazon if I don't have to. There are a lot of people that try to do stuff and they get themselves in trouble. And the best advice I can give anybody is if you don't need to contact Amazon for any reason, don't, because you may get the wrong person looking into your account. They may see something that they may not like, and the next thing you know, you got red flagged for something. It happens all the time. All the time. And this is why people get their accounts suspended because they did something wrong, or they get red flagged because they didn't do something right, or what have you. So I try not to go out and make any contact with Amazon if I really don't have to. So, um, Illinois says, I usually don't, but I need the money. I hear you there. Well said. Yeah, exactly. And you know exactly how it is. Now, look, everybody needs cash and everybody needs money. Um, and this is why I have been selling on Amazon for the last 13 years, is because this is my money pit. To be frank, um, I have been into a lot of businesses, and a lot of businesses have failed. And Amazon is the number one marketplace on the internet right now. and where I can go in, I can make money. If I want to buy stocks, I can go out there, spend money on stocks or anything else for that matter. And this is the position that everybody needs to get into. So you really, really have to think about it. You really have to think about, do I really want to sell on Amazon? Is this going to make me money? If you do things correctly and you do things right, you sell the right products, you are going to make money. If you know the rules, you know the regulations, if you know everything you need to know about Amazon, you are going to make money. If you sell the right products and you go out and you sell some of these best sellers, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I didn't think that this product was going to sell, but this is my best product. And you pick up on that and you continue to go out there and pound it, you are going to make money. I'm going to give you one thing that I've learned throughout this business on Amazon is the less products you sell, the better off you're going to be. There are people out there, that sellers out there, that will sell retail arbitrage, will sell 100 different other items, but they will never ever get ranked because they don't sell that one product over and over and over again. I discussed this in my video in 2016 when I put that video out there. I have 346,000 views just on that one video, how to make $10,000 selling on Amazon. If you search for that on YouTube, you'll know exactly what video I'm talking about. I was in my truck at that time and I was working, and that video really, really took off. And I talk about me selling only a few products, and those few products were ranked #1, and they were all on the first page. And that's how my business really grew, was because I was able to go out there and keep all these products in control. And you know, when Zoe talks about a product that she's or that they're selling, and they're selling this particular product 50 to 60 to 80 units a day, that's a good product. You continue to push that product and you turn that product into organic sales. If you continue selling the exact same product over and over again, your BSR, your best seller rank, will become lower and lower and lower, and you want to get that in the low 100s if you can, or even the #1 or #2 or #3 on subcategories, and that will show up on the first page. And usually your product tends to sell even better, and that's where you can get your start. You will know, because when you start selling a product and that product is selling 10 times a day, 20 times a day, you better get with your supplier. You better order more, because this is what's going to happen, is that ball that you just created is now rolling downhill, and there's nothing stopping it. It is getting bigger, 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 and bigger. And those are more sales, more sales, and more sales, and more sales. The only thing that is going to stop those sales is you running out of that product. If you run out of that product, your BSR is no longer in the hundreds, it's in the thousands, and then you're pretty much getting put in the back of the line, and you have to start all over again as far as when you go out there and relist it and try to sell the exact same product. Now, when you're out there and you are selling products that you're doing 40, 50 different other products, you're just selling the product, and you're selling it, and then you're hoping that you can make as much money as you possibly can. But where the real money comes in are sellers that are selling the exact same product and selling that over and over again. I'll use this as an example. Whether you work for DeWalt or you work for Nike, and you sell tennis shoes and you sell those same exact shoes over and over again, you have established yourself as a brand. DeWalt, same thing. Tools, if you're selling, they sell tools, and you know, I can go either to DeWalt or I can go to Snap-on. Snap-on sells on Amazon, and I want to buy that, and they sell that one tool over and over again, they are going to get more sales and more sales, and those are going to continue. And that's where they make their money. Not somebody who basically comes in and says, I'm going to sell this one screwdriver, I'm going to sell this pair of tennis shoes, I'm going to sell this printer, I'm going to sell, this baton or whatever. So you kind of really have to pay attention to what sells and what is selling in your listings. And you got to make sure your listings are very, very optimized. All right. Zoe Rizzi says it's a great product I launched. It's been taking off. I only have 7 reviews so far. I'm ordering a container load as we speak. Zoe Rizzi, let me tell you something. That is awesome news. The fact of the matter is that you only have 7 reviews tells you, and I tell people this all the time, I sell products that have no reviews on them, and I can sell 20 to 30 of those units every single day with 0 reviews. Reviews help, but they are not the main source. If you have a product that is great, that is a good product, and you have a product that is not cheap, and you have pay-per-click campaign that is pushing that particular product, and you have a great listing, you have a listing where people can find you, you have beautiful keywords in there, you don't need reviews. You really don't. Because that is going to push that product in front of them. And the main thing is, if you are competitive in your price and you are reasonable, you're in the same level or even cheaper, that is a decision that a buyer may turn around and say, I'm going to buy this because it's cheaper, even though it doesn't have reviews. Your product really doesn't have to have reviews. Somebody can go to your storefront, see what type of seller you are, and look at your feedback. And if your feedback has great reviews and people are saying, this guy ships pretty fast, or this person ships really quick, and I will order again. Feedbacks are just as important as reviews. So with that being said, congratulations. You're doing an awesome job. You're doing great. Keep up the great work. Thank you for the kind words, by the way. Yeah, thank you. Oh, I also want to say thank you to this super chat from OLA. Super chat, he gave me $20. Thank you very much there, OLA. I appreciate it. You always come through. You don't have to do it, but I thank you every single time you do that. Thank you for the $20. Really appreciate it. There's quite a few new people on here tonight. I do notice that. There's another person here, Charlie. Charlie Bailey Gates. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And for those of you guys that are brand new, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. It will let you know when I do come on. I do Amazon Q&A every single Monday, or I try to do it every single Monday and from 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I go out there and I will answer your guys' questions. So let's go ahead and answer Charlie Bailey Gates' question. Charlie says, hi Henry, what is the best way to liquidate inventory of a product that didn't perform as well as you expected? There are several ways to do that. You are going to lower the price on your product itself. So you want to be able to lower the price, make it maybe $1 less or what have you. There are other ways that I teach you on trying to get rid of that product. Here's another way that you can do it also, is do a buy one, get one free. And when you do that, people go crazy over that. if they buy one and they have a get one free, you don't have to charge shipping. You give them free shipping, and this will blow your product out of the water in trying to do that. If you want to keep that price, just at the same as everybody else, do the buy one, get one free, and you probably will end up seeing sales because people love free stuff. All right. Hopefully that helps. Okay, Craig says, should I use LegalZoom or trademark or, that's a great question. I'm going to tell you my experience. I used trademark, and there was a company that did trademark and what have you. But the only thing is, with that particular company itself, is they will say that this is open. But after they do their investigation, they will send you a notification saying somebody else has that, even though it shows that it's not trademarked. And guess what? You don't get your money back. That's the only bad thing, only negative thing I could talk about as far as, I think it was a company. I don't even want to get, if you type in trademark and Google it and it's a company and the name says trademark dot whatever. Yeah, I just had bad experiences with them. I would definitely use LegalZoom. You probably have less problems and issues with LegalZoom than the other companies that you're talking about. So if it was my recommendation, I would definitely probably look at LegalZoom and go that route, or anything else. Just Google. You can Google it and kind of do your homework on that. I don't really like to give suggestions when it comes to stuff like that because you're obviously spending money and it's your money. So, all right, guys. Well, with that being said, I really appreciate the thumbs up, you guys. Thank you for that. And finally, with that being said, put it in the or in the comments below. After this video is over, do you guys use Amazon's FBA, or do you use merchant fulfilled if you are a seller? Or even if you are new to it after this video and everything that I have said, what decision did you want to make? Did you go out there and say, I'm going to send my products into Amazon's FBA program? Or am I going to go ahead and do the merchant fulfilled products myself? I thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat, OLA. Give you props for that. Thumbs up, everybody. And we will see you guys on the next video. And thank you guys for all the thumbs up. Appreciate that. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And make sure you hit that notification bell. If you are looking at some courses that's going to help you and it's going to teach you how to make money selling on Amazon, don't forget to go to my website, techdaddyvideos.com. Take a look at my packages there. If you have a question, I'm going to leave my phone number on the title itself where you guys can contact me directly. Give me a call. The number is 626-225-3002. Leave me a voicemail if I don't answer, and I will definitely give you guys a call back. Thank you guys for coming on. Really appreciate that, and we will see you guys on the next video. See ya.